Merhaba Saif Bey. Esselamu Aleyküm.
Walaikum salam. How are you?
Thank you. Saif Bey, welcome. Saif, Saif Bey, you hear me?
Mr. Mustafa, yeah, I can hear you. Merhaba.
Merhaba. Where are you from?
I'm from Jordan,
Jordan, welcome.
originally Cherkess.
Originally,
Cherkess.
you are Turkish?
No, Cherkess.
Cherkess.
Yes, evet.
Close to Turkish, alas.
Yeah, close. I lived in Turkey for like in Istanbul for a year and a half. I worked there, so I know a little bit of Turkish.
Good. Quiet. Welcome.
Yes, thank you.
The voice is okay. Yani, I think now
Yeah, it's totally fine now. Yeah.
we are streaming as well. A little latency, of course, yeah, between Zoom and YouTube. What about your e-commerce issues? Can you tell me about?
E-commerce issues? Well, as anyone who's been in e-commerce in the Middle East, I think we all share the same concerns or the same, let's say, problems in the Middle East with e-commerce, which is payments and logistics, which is shipping and fulfillment, especially in Saudi Arabia and the bigger countries. But from my side, I think like payments is the most or the biggest problem now in the Middle East. There's like 70%. I'm not sure about numbers. I'm just giving like random numbers. 70% of the orders are depending on cash on delivery, which is a risky way to do business in e-commerce.
Shukran for your sharing. Today, one of co-founder of Salla.sa will be with us. They have more than 50,000 merchandiser subscribers in their platform. He will also analyze with them. And Mr. Rashid, how are you? How about you, Mr. Rashid?
I'm good. How is everything?
Nice kida. I want to introduce you, Saif Bey. I just know Saif Bey, but I want to introduce you, Rashid Bey and Saif Bey.
Yeah.
Hello, Rashid. How are you? Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
Thank you.
كيف الحال؟
تمام الحمد لله. الله بخير.
الحمد لله.
الحمد لله رب العالمين.
You are Cherkess, but you know Arabic, yani.
Yes,
well.
I was raised and born in Jordan. That's why.
Meshi.
But the roots and the
I see. Well. I have, in fact, there are many subjects. E-commerce cover many things. Yeah, and when I think that what sub-subjects we will talk, I am writing, and then you say shipping. I said, oh, I forget shipping. And then
it's a lot of stuff, when we are really, really way back in the Middle East in terms of e-commerce. still didn't reach like, well, that's what I think is we didn't reach even 30% of the potential of the e-commerce in the Middle East.
So potential, big potential.
Big potential, of course, especially with this Corona thing, the consumer behavior will definitely change, but it still needs time. I think we still need time.
I see. I see. Well, how about Rashid Bey? What do you think about e-commerce in Middle East?
I think the logistic part is a very challenging. In Ramadan there was an issue for the shipping in Saudi Arabia, where there were some videos about e-commerce website where they have thousands and thousands of products that have not been shipped. Obviously, because of the high demand in Corona time. So they have been into so many problems because of that.
And I think in Saudi Arabia, one of the major shipping companies are going out of business, which is Fisher.
Yeah.
They are going out of business. Yeah, I hear that.
Also, the government is trying to force some changes because of that, and regulations, new regulations, and some changes because of that. Yeah.
We had some changes in here in Qatar as well. The government, the consumer law and all that, trying to control promotions online and all this. In Qatar, wherever you want to apply a promotion on a product or whatever kind of sale in a normal shop, let's say, you have to apply for a permission for that. What's the specific products you're applying that permission on? What's exactly you're doing? And then once you get the approval from the government, you can go, start the promotion in your store. But now they are applying this on that on online as well, and I think they still figure out the process, because we applied for our 3 websites until now, one of the 3 of our websites, and none of them get approval. They all rejected without a reason. So they still didn't figure out what's the process, how they will control the online promotions and all that. It's changing a lot now, but hopefully to the best.
Yeah, I believe these regulations is going to shape the business somehow.
Completely true, inshallah. Yes.
Mustafa Bey, I think Ecom Gulf/Live is giving an error.
In fact, we are using e-commerce motion.com, but for you, I am just correcting.
Can you send me the link?
E-commerce motion.com/live.
E-commerce motion.com/live.
But for Ecom Gulf, I will also do my mission.
You.
In fact, Ecom Gulf, we didn't make streaming. Now ecomgulf.com/live also active.
Thank you.
Most welcome. Welcome everyone. The time is 3 and our streaming has already started, by the way. We are şoya starting our event as recorded as well in YouTube. Then we will publish again on YouTube and our channels as well. So today we want to make an interactive session about e-commerce. We are starting some e-business departments, digitalization departments, such as fintech, such as e-commerce and startups as well. So e-commerce is already, we are in the abnormal days that we are living in, as you know, pandemic days, and e-commerce has some extra value for everyone, but we are getting now some side effects of this density of nowadays people make business, I mean shopping, and then logistics has some problems. Even in Istanbul, Turkey has, we are experiencing many logistics issues. Many logistic companies has misleading their missions, and we saw that they are not ready for digitalization, or they didn't complete their digitalization infrastructure well enough to be ready to this kind of days. Even I am personally experiencing something. For example, I have a SMS that your your shipping package teslimat, yani given to someone, but I didn't take. And then I understand that it is not me, and it is already not my packet, but SMS come to me. But confusing, and I have no any contact point that what is this SMS, why this SMS came to me, and this kind of issues. So let's talk about many side effects and positive effects of e-commerce on these days. And what do you think about what is going on in after pandemic, inshallah, of course. What will we go, and what we should be ready? What is digital infrastructure? Let's analyze digital infrastructure of current logistics systems as well. And then there are many subjects, of course. E-commerce means many things, cover many things, even cover hosting, even cover CDN, even cover data, big data, and even chatbots or KIDA, and such kind of many things. So let's our e-commerce complicated subject start. And before start, everyone can say about themselves, for where are you from, and we want to just know that where are you from exactly, and then your company, if possible. For Saif, Mr. Saif, where are you from and your company, please? Short introduction.
Thank you, Mustafa. Well, I'm Saif. I'm from Jordan. Currently, I'm based in Qatar. In fact, I recently relocated to Qatar. I was in Istanbul before. Our company is Aboisa Holding, which is a holding company. We have like a lot of sister companies in e-commerce wise. Currently, we're already going live with 5 websites. One of them in the US, which is Musafir. And the plan is to, take all our businesses or our sister companies live in the next year. In fact, so this is a brief about where I am from and about the company in general.
Thank you. You are now our Musafir, and also welcome. Aditya, Mr. Aditya, where are you from shortly? Can we?
Hi, I'm Aditya from India, but based in Dubai. I am founder of fnsys.com and bankbuddy.ai. We're an artificial intelligence platform for customer experience, which includes chatbots, voice bots, big data, and customer experience. Thanks.
Welcome, Welcome, Aditya Bey. Welcome, Mr. Aditya. Mr. Shaban, where are you from? Shortly, and can you say about yourself?
Hello, I'm from Turkey, Istanbul. Actually, I am here to listen and understand and also meet people because actually I don't have any experience on the e-commerce part, but I used to work in a bank in Turkey and I have an experience in financial products and financial systems. Now I am doing freelance jobs and also giving lectures in universities about machine learning and big data and artificial intelligence. So these are my experiences. As I told you before, I am here to listen and know people and also learn what's going on. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Welcome, Mr. Shaban. Welcome, Muges Bey. Where are you from? Just also about you. We want to know. Muges Bey, you hear us?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we are hearing you.
Thank you for inviting me to the forum, and I'm very good to be a participant in that. I'm from Oman. I am currently under the government on Central Bank of Oman for their College of Banking and Financial Studies, and I'm the head of technology, fintech, and Islamic finance. I over here and do advisory and consultancy. So this is basically what I am.
Welcome, Muges Bey. And Salman Bey, welcome. Can we know about you shortly?
Yes, good afternoon. This is Salman from Mecca. I am the operation officer of Salla, the e-commerce platform, the Arabic platform for people who want to convert to e-commerce without going through the hassle of the technology, either in establishing their e-commerce stores or running them and supporting them with pre-integrated plenty of logistics companies and payment gateways. So they just need to enable them and go live.
Good. Today we want to analyze more about this platform, Salman Bey. Shukran for your attendance.
Welcome.
Ibrahim Bey, where are you from? Just shortly, we want to know about you, and if possible.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ibrahim Misdo. I originally from Lebanon. I've been in Ghana for the past 20 years. Until December, I was looking at business development. Can you hear me? I think someone is unmuted.
Yes, I need to unmute. Yes.
Yes. So
yes,
I was looking. Yeah, I was looking for business development for fintech, global fintech for Africa. Until December, starting January this year, I'm doing consultancy work for incubators and accelerators in Ghana. So I'm more engaged in startups ecosystem in Ghana. And then I sit on advisory board for a couple of startups, and one of them is in the e-commerce space with all what brings challenges in Africa when it comes to logistics, addressing and others. So I look forward for this talk to learn more about experiences from other areas, other regions, and you guys. Thank you.
Welcome, most welcome. Mr. Fayaz, can you shortly brief you about we like to know you about, if possible?
Hi, everyone. My name is Fayaz. I'm based in Tanzania, East Africa. I've been in the tech industry for now 11 years. We got into fintech 5 years ago, and we have been exploring the payments industry M-Pesa. We've been working with telecoms here in Tanzania for a while. And then we got into agri-tech as well to support the agriculture industry with fintech integration and financial inclusion. 2 years back, we started looking into supporting e-commerce startups and helping them set up infrastructure to be able to operate, especially in Tanzania, and integrating them with telecoms and MNOs and aggregators. And currently, we are trying to set up a system where businesses can set up their own e-commerce platforms. And so I was interested to join this webinar.
Welcome, Fayaz Bey.
Yeah,
I
thank
see
you.
you are both in fintech and e-commerce. It is good for us.
Yes, thank you.
Teresa, I think you have some audio problem, connection of audio. If you hear us, if you try to talk about you in shortly, welcome. If you cannot, we will pass to Kinoti Bey lastly. And Mr. Kinoti, Teresa, you hear us or you can try? Mr. Kinoti, can you open your microphone? I need to close it because of some voices came from there. And then can you shortly talk about you if you like, and then we will continue. Rashid Bey, our one first speaker, and then Salman Bey, we will analyze the platform of Salah.
Hello, I don't have my good headphones. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for reaching out to me. I've been in e-commerce a long time. I started almost 20 years ago in Silicon Valley in California, where I was working with 1,400 companies in running the e-commerce stores, such as Fujitsu. And then about 10 years ago, I relocated and came back to Africa. I'm based out of Nairobi, Kenya. Of course, it was very nascent e-commerce. It was not until a few years later when Jumia started making inroads that people started understanding in this market what e-commerce entails. So it's been a long process of educating the market, but I think we are finally getting some traction. And I think now that we've gone into this situation, which is obviously a big challenge, but also a big opportunity for e-commerce companies now to come out of their shells and take advantage of people now ordering and getting resources based from their office or their home. So I've been delving into that, but I'm also now pursuing other technologies. I'm very interested in IoT right now and tagging, RFID tagging. So that's something also I'm following up here in the market.
Kinoti Bey, shortly introduction, if possible, first, if possible, shortly.
Yeah, I thought the others were much longer than mine. I was just winding up.
I am.
I was following the cue from the others, but it's okay. Take it away. I think that's enough.
Okay, welcome. Teresa, lastly, we want to know about you, if mumkin, if your connection is good or not. Your microphone is, if possible, you will open your microphone. Yes. Welcome. Shortly, we want to know about you. Where are you from? And we like to network. People know each other. Where are you from? And what is their relation with e-commerce?
Everyone, my name is Teresa Lubano. I'm from Nairobi, Kenya. I have an e-commerce platform called Shop Nanjala. It's an online shop for gardening, home decor, and gifting. I launched it in 2015. And I must say, e-commerce is very young here in East Africa. I think the main competitors are Masoko, which sells just phones, and there's Jumia and a few others. But I think it's growing. I think COVID has actually sort of disrupted a lot of businesses, and people are now moving to digital transformation. So I'm also seeing a lot of traction and conversion on shopnanjala.com, which is a good sign that Kenyans are ready to actually embrace digital transactions. Thank you very much.
Well, welcome, Teresa. It is good that knows this. And e-commerce also help people during this time, but
Yes.
suffering some another points. Let's analyze now. Maybe Ammar Bey came, but very late came. So Ammar Bey, we will know you maybe later. The last one late will be suffered that we will pass you, but we will continue and somehow know about you. Rashid Bey, let's start now. Now time is 15:15. Let's start. What do you think about this e-commerce platform? I know that you are in digital communication, digital marketing area. Of course, digital marketing and e-commerce very close each other. Maybe big part of many part of the e-commerce. E-commerce is huge subjects that we talked about. Just our members came here that cover logistics, cover many payment and a kind of banking. Even I can ask that Karim is as Uber is a kind of e-commerce, for example. Yani, is a yani. So let's. We want to know about that. What do you think about and what is your perspective nowadays? What's going on e-commerce about your perspective, and what is your opinion of e-commerce solving something or suffering something from?
Thank you so much for the question, and thank you so much for hosting us in this event. First, mainly we need to understand that currently we are having a positive impact from everything around us due to COVID-19, but that was not the case during the beginning of the e-commerce business. According to the definition, any commerce that is happening among electronical ways is considered e-commerce, and that makes even using ATM machines is an e-commerce business. Back in 19s and 80s, when there was the ticket reservation over electronic system like IATA and other systems, it was mentioned and considered as e-commerce. But currently, we don't consider an e-commerce business as e-commerce business if it's not selling products over internet. So currently we have narrowed the definition of e-commerce to be only for selling businesses and selling products and services over internet. So even Uber is not considered as an e-commerce. It's considered as a business that is delivering services over online and over mobile applications, but we no longer consider it as an e-commerce. Currently, the definition of e-commerce is a store that is selling products or selling services. And of course, to sell the products, you need to ship the products, and you need to take care about the inventory of the products, take care of the supply chain management of the products. So the whole process of selling products, inventory of the product, the supply chain of the products is considered as part of e-commerce. The whole process of e-commerce, yes, have been evolved so much in the last couple of months, and that's obviously because of the COVID-19, where people had to think about another ways to shop for their products and to search for their products. On the other hand, the businesses and the merchants were in need to look for another way and another mean of interacting with the clients. So we have been a lot of businesses going online and trying to sell their products online.
Welcome. So what do you think about Turkish and Middle East market? Now you are in Turkey, I know, and then as a country base, as a region base, you are experiencing something in your partners, and as also at least you are providing some e-commerce infrastructure to your customers, or at least you are as a customer of e-commerce. What do you think about it? What do nowadays, what you are experiencing from e-commerce and what is your expectations can be in the future?
First of all, Turkey is different case than other countries around Middle East, because Turkey is an industrial country where so many products are being produced and manufactured inside Turkey. That gave a lot of concern about the e-commerce in Turkey to be from the producers to the end users directly via the platform, via different platforms. In the great infrastructure and the good infrastructure, especially the logistic infrastructure in Turkey, has helped a lot to shape the good e-commerce system that we can see in Turkey. While in other Middle Eastern countries there is a high demand, there is the culture of using e-commerce to buy products, but there isn't that much more of products that being manufactured inside the Middle East, which made the e-commerce to take another dimension, which is the importing. So the e-commerce in different Middle Eastern countries is taking care of importing products either from Turkey or from China or from other countries. So that's what has shaped the e-commerce business in the Middle Eastern countries. On the other hand, both in Turkey and Middle East, there is a new shape of e-commerce businesses, which is the delivery business. It's not the same like e-commerce. It's just a business that depends on giving the ability to have a product being delivered to you, not shipped to you, which is different. In Turkey, there
also fast needs, some fast needs, I think.
Exactly, your quick needs, something that you need quickly, then you can bring it from the grocery shop or from the supermarket. So
this is between e-commerce and logistics.
Exactly. It's a new form of e-commerce, because according to the definition, we used to say that there are some products that cannot be sold over e-commerce, like ice cream, for example. But now we can see that it's being sold over e-commerce, but the business model is different. Then we have an inventories all around the city, and then when you order, you enter your address, and then you check among the nearest inventory, and the products will be delivered to you. This could be from supermarket, this could be from grocery shops, and we have seen that even the supermarket chains has in Turkey, for example, they have participated in this business, and they are delivering the products via their e-commerce website. So now you can order the products from the e-commerce website or from the e-commerce application, and have the delivery boy bring it to you, which is completely new business model. Even that it's a new for e-commerce, because previously you had to wait until the products being shipped to you, while now it's an on-demand delivery, as we call it.
Welcome, Rashid Bey. Shukran for your this extra point. That I can add that in Turkey there is a Getir application. I can say also application. This is kind of supporter of UX and supporter of digital needs. People now expecting some extra digital needs from this kind of companies, but they are not agile. Logistics or some e-commerce not agile to make some UX standardization. I mean, high UX expectation or application they can't. But Getir did it. I can see what is the motorcycle coming to me in map easily and in time, and or extra this kind of details, digital standards very high. So even now Getir taken already $30 million in more than $30 million investment in Turkey, and then it's a startup now going more than a startup going to maybe $100 million business for Etsari. So thank you, Rashid Bey. Now we want to focus on a little bit more Saudi Arabia and Middle East, that in this area, Mr. Salman from Mecca, one of another speaker, and then we want to also analyze Africa as well. Mr. Salman, can you share us about your success story? Is Salah.sa is a I know, as far as I know, is success story in Saudi Arabia. You are bringing digital platform, e-commerce platform, your merchandisers, how they benefit this, and how you grow, how you are meet expectations of your customers, and can you talk about this? And we like to hear.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Mustafa Bey. Okay. We have something unique. Our culture is a little bit different than the global culture. That's for instance, that what led us to start our platform. People used to use the Instagram pages to make their online sales, just like Rashid Bey said, to sell goods online. To be an e-commerce, you need to sell goods online, and then you have to deliver them. You have to maintain the inventory and everything. So suppose an account in an Instagram application doing the e-commerce activities, and how complicated that will be. So people used to make revenue and make profits, very high profits in annual roundups and even in monthly roundups, but they were not willing to invest a part of that revenue into establishing a proper e-commerce website. So what we had to do to understand actually what they are looking for, the ease of use at creating and posting products on Instagram account, that was one of the factors. The other one, the ease of closing the deal while communicating and chatting between real people. So those were 2 points where we were standing. So we try to provide a service, yes, not with the communication channel, but with the same ease of doing or maintaining the website. So we provided a back-end system where you can, as an Instagram seller or as an e-commerce practitioner using Instagram as your channel, you can just put your Instagram account and establish an e-commerce website. And you need to, and instantly we will get all your pictures on your website. You just need to add quantity and price behind any picture, and that will become a product. If you don't add a quantity or a price, that image will be in your control panel, but it won't be showed in your e-commerce website. So that was the first phase of Seller. It was on late 2016. In March 2017, the merchants on our platform, they made their first 1 million Saudi riyals as sales. In 2018, March, again, one complete year, after one complete year of achieving 1 million Saudi riyals, they were selling for more than 1 million Saudi riyals monthly. So, and then in 2019, the growth was more than 1700%. In March 2020, they were selling every 8 hours for 1 million Saudi riyals. So now they are selling every 3 to 4 hours. They are selling, completing their 1 million Saudi riyals. So yeah, the growth is amazing. And the conversion wasn't easy. But imagine that the people who were not willing to invest and prepare their e-commerce websites in 2016, now in early 2020, they are asking for loyalty programs and cashback to give to their clients. So they became professional e-commerce practitioners. So yeah, we we had an opportunity, we seized it, and we were there on the right time. We say Alhamdulillah. Your mic, Mustafa Bey, your mic. Your mic is silent, Mustafa Bey. Yeah.
Sorry. I think you will reach 1 million next week. In 1 hour, 1 million next week or next month.
Yeah, we hope so. Why not?
So let's analyze a little with you that your customers' feedbacks. That you say yes, from Instagram or social media channels, there is a for amateur or small medium business started this kind of issues. It was good at the beginning, and I think you give them more professional, some more professional services that is Instagram they can do with Instagram. And then also I think now you are reaching some point that some medium level business as well can use your platforms if you are also you are making central services to them, such as you mentioned, that some loyalty programs, some promotional activities helping, some digital marketing activities helping them. Are you planning or doing and mean from small medium to the medium business, instead of they will go to the Shopify or they will go to the Magento or Kit, this kind of platform instead of this kind of platform? They are
Yes.
using or they want to use your platform.
Yeah, this is the natural thing, Mustafa Bey. Like when in our early stages, those practitioners now they became businessmen. Actually, they are importing and selling. They are properly doing their inventory. They storing, doing fulfillment, and establishing packing solutions. And so before they were like, okay, just close 10 to 15 deals daily. That's enough. Now they are asking Salman how we can like break the 10,000 orders per month. Just bring us some experts at that level. So we need to pass that boundary. We are not being able to. So they're asking for something that actually in the area of medium enterprises already. So, and yes, of course, we have been onboarded in last few months plenty of medium enterprises, and they are benefiting from our platform.
Welcome. Let's continue with the platform again on this Salah that I say. How you are collecting data that daily, مثلا, how many unique visitors come to all your platforms, and then what is your expectation from Saudi market and Middle East market? And also, if you have a plan for Middle East extension.
Yeah. Okay. As visitors, if we say like buyers, then we are talking about maybe 500,000 buyers daily. Not unique, but we can say 500,000 buyers daily. But as visitors, we are receiving millions of them, because every merchant has his own domain name. So they are doing their own marketing campaigns and digital marketing campaigns. So they are targeting, maybe plenty of them, tens or maybe hundreds of them are targeting the same audience, who are visiting them again and again in the same day. So they are visiting separate domain names, but all of them actually hitting as a platform, hitting Salah. So even though if we say buyers and visitors, so they are actually multiplying themselves automatically while targeting different domain names. About the Middle East, actually, we don't have that much exposure, or not saying exposure actually, but saying targeting audience as merchants, or either our merchants targeting them. most of the merchandising going within GCC. So the culture is very much close to each other. And actually, we would like to have some common habits. And so actually, we can sell to each other countries plenty of things. Yes, our some of our merchants, do they have clients from global other countries? Yes, they do, but it's not a big ratio. It's a small ratio. Now we do have a program with some partners. We are trying to introduce our merchants to global markets, because you know, when you have different cultures, you cannot target the same using the same methodology the other culture department, or the other culture communities and countries, because they have different habits. Maybe the items, the products are not fit, and maybe other issues, like you are not targeting them properly. Like let's say, if an influencer is an influencer in GCC, he might not an influencer in North Africa. He might not be an influencer, definitely not be an influencer in Turkey. So when they go and target such digital marketing channels, they will not work with the global clients. So now we are trying to put them in some sort of small program and initiative, actually, to tell them about what is globalization and what is localization after doing the globalization. So these things, they need this. Now they became from very small sellers online to become like a little bit small, become small merchants. Now they are becoming businessmen. So they need to understand what is globalization and what is localization after that. So they need to put some effort on their products to become global products. So that's actually one angle of looking at it. It's not only this thing, but it will affect later on.
Okay, Shukran. Thank you for your this details, Salman Bey. And then let's continue with Rashid Bey. But if any question for so far to Rashid and Salman, please, anyone can open microphone and talk and ask question. I think not yet. So let's continue. As our subject is e-commerce techs and trends, and Rashid Bey, Mr. Rashid, what do you think about now expectations or current usage of technologies that e-commerce platforms are using, and especially I mean such new high tech like bots, like AI, artificial intelligence, like any other, some CRO optimization tools, and it can be some digital tools as well. What do you think, what kind of trendy technologies and some trends of e-commerce that they should be ready or they should implement in their platforms?
The demand of using high technologies in e-commerce businesses and in e-commerce websites is very high. The demand is high. As you mentioned, some of them, the AI, the artificial intelligence, the marketing automation, the optimization of conversion rate is an examples of some of the issues that having a high demand currently. Basically, the reason behind that is that e-commerce itself has a lot of drawbacks, a lot of negatives. And the point is that e-commerce customers would like to compare the e-commerce and the classical way of buying. For example, they have they would like to try the product, they would like to test the product, they would like to be sure that they can have the same experience that they might have in a normal shopping. So currently we have some websites where they offer an artificial intelligence or an AR, augmented reality, where you can test and try the products. You can test how this furniture will look like in your home. You can test how these glasses will look like on your face. So it's trying to bridge you with the product. It's trying to give you an opportunity to test and try the product, so that you can make this ice break with the e-commerce. The need of technologies is basically to convey the client about buying the products, while they have always some barrier against buying stuff from the e-commerce. On the other hand, there are some technologies that we need in e-commerce business in order to market more, to give more marketing, to give better marketing. Currently, we can track clients as they choose products. We can track clients and send them advertising on their Facebook pages, on their Instagram accounts, so that they can see the products that they have left behind without buying. It's also a demand that in e-commerce we give technological efforts in order to market more and to make better marketing for our products. But basically, the need of technology and the need of high technology is costing a lot. And when we say that we are using, as an e-commerce business, we are using more and more technologies and new technologies every day. We need to compete with our competitors with the technologies that they are using. Then the cost of maintaining this e-commerce business is getting higher and higher. And when it gets higher, then again the question about whether it is profitable to run an e-commerce business, the question is coming again. Previously, when it was businesses all over the city, obviously your business can survive because around this business there are enough people to buy from this business, from this shop, or from this company. But now, when all of the businesses are online and people can buy from whatever website, from all of the websites, and the chance of reaching to the product is equal for all websites, and on top of that the cost of technology is high, then there is this challenging question about whether all e-commerce businesses are going to survive and all e-commerce business will maintain their profits. So yes, there is a high demand on technology. There is a high demand on high technological tools that could be used in e-commerce business. But then on the other hand, there is the cost of this, the cost of maintaining those tools, the cost of running those tools, the cost of using those tools, with a small margin of profit that most of the e-commerce websites are facing.
Yeah, I think I can add a few cents there, actually, in contrary of Sella platform. We're promising our merchants, that our clients actually, that we will take the technical hassle out of them. And yes, I agree with Rashid Bey that it's expensive. It's not only the running, the operating of the technology, because we already maybe 10 to 11 months back last year, we launched the ability of hosting an AR engine. It's there already in Sella. So you can actually go through augmented reality and check how the product will be looking like at your room or at your house, whatever the good that you are trying to buy. But just few merchants ask asked us about this and how to make it available in their stores. And even though it's not only the running and the operation and having the technology has the cost, also preparing your goods in these technologies is costly. Not only costly, even the people who are preparing, like when you go for regular e-commerce website and you need your products to be like photographed or taking pictures of them, professional like e-commerce standard pictures, that will be, even that is a little bit expensive. Instead of getting those pictures are actually AR enabled pictures with 360-degree view and having the 3D angles and clear backgrounds and so on. So actually preparing the regular pictures is a little bit a hassle for them, because it's not it's not an IT tech, but it's another tech. It's a technology from a different point of view or from a different angle. So even in that area, so preparing the products and the goods to be able to be used in these new technologies is extremely expensive and very rare skills to be available in the people who are working there. So this is not related to tech or electronics. It's more probably related to some artificial or some art work, like the photographers and the yeah, the other area, the supporting area of e-commerce. So I think this angle is very how we can say, it's a multi-factor angle.
Let's see.
I see. Welcome for your adding. At this point, anyone, any question, please, or any comment for technologies, especially new technologies or expecting technologies? No, but let's continue with some new technology, especially in Middle East. One of my friends here, Saif Bey, Mr. Saif, says payments is a suffering point for e-commerce and logistic as well together. What do you think about payment systems of e-commerce? Salman Bey, your payment system is, I think, somehow good that many merchandisers use your daily very well, I think. What kind of bank points or connection or credit card or some payment issues you are covering or managing? How?
Yeah, the payments is actually a hassle. If a regular e-commerce if a regular merchant or a regular businessman or a regular man want to establish or convert it into an e-commerce, he needs to go through several steps. Like he must have a commercial bank account, which is not easy to open in Saudi Arabia. I don't know why, and nobody knows why. It's like there. So banks takes plenty times from you to allow you to open a commercial bank account, especially when you are an unknown person in business terms. You don't have you don't actually already having currently working capital going on and actually on and in and out from your other bank accounts. So it's very difficult to go from scratch to open a bank account, and it's not easy. So this is first step. Second step, you have to go through a payment gateway, a PSP, to get an approval from them. Then this PSP will work with your bank to prepare or generate a merchant ID for you, and then you can go live and start receiving digital payments. And so yeah, this thing is very, very hustleful actually, and usually it takes from 3 to 5 or 6 months to go live. But on Sella, we made it from day one. Like, we don't want them to go through it. So we just go through the requirements, whatever there, and we enable those requirements, and we receive those requirements on behalf of banks and the payment gateways, and we just enable the digital payments on our account till they go with their own accounts live. So we do some sort of aggregation in initial stages, and then we take them live. So we actually, freed some space. Like when we used to, when we were young, we used to hear like time is money. So in this factor, actually, time is money actually. So their clients, they will not even feel the change when these merchants switch to their own accounts. So it's just like a click, and these amounts we received on their behalf, and then the next minute they are receiving directly their own amounts in their bank accounts once they got the approval from the PSP and the bank. So yeah, payment is one of the major issues in Middle East, and specifically in GCC, and more specifically in Saudi Arabia, because we are getting everything regulated. Just like a couple of years back, we started regulating these things. So now everybody should be like, when we started, there was no rule for aggregation. So now we are doing the aggregation, and there is a rule, but our Saudi monetary agency is saying, okay, still like carry on what you are doing, but try to not to keep the merchants on your accounts for so long, or try to get the license for the aggregation. So we are working on both lines, and trying to provide the e-commerce and digital payment benefits to our merchants. And in the same time, we are maintaining the documents on behalf of the banks and the payment gateways, and doing the KYC. That's a well-known terminology in banks and financial institutions. So know your customer is KYC. So we're doing that on their behalf, and keeping these documents in our storage until they prepare and wrap up their payment requirements. So yeah, it's a hassle-full. Yeah.
Well, I think we touch one of your difficult points, but you somehow you solve it, yani. Somehow you are
Yes.
solving it. Welcome. So let's, Ammar Bey, we made some short introduction each other. Let's lastly, we want to know about you in short. Where are you from, and which company you are, which position, if possible?
Thank you, Mustafa bhai. I'm sorry, it's a working day and in the working hours, so I joined a bit late. My name is Amash Shahzad, and I am a product manager for digital payments for Pakistan's largest fintech, Easy Paisa. It's a subsidiary of Alipay and Telenor Group. So I will.
Welcome, Ammar. Any questions so far from your side?
I just like to add 2 points here. So I was just listening to the conversation in respect of e-commerce. So I guess in this present situation, in this COVID situation, e-commerce has totally taken a new turn, especially because when people are now very are very safety curious and don't want to go out to the home, don't want to touch things, and even don't want to handle the transaction in cash, or even don't want to do transaction using cards, because there are certain researches that are coming that there are germs that can be transferred to that. So the existing online players in Pakistan that we're seeing, Daraz, that is by Alipay, and Food Panda, all of these services have now started delivering grocery services to the people as well. So now the e-commerce transaction that we're seeing a huge spike in Pakistan is for the grocery delivery services, because people don't go out of the homes. Instead, they prefer to go on different applications and web portals to get their groceries delivered. So a huge chunk of services that we are seeing
Ammar Bey, Mr. Ammar, your last sentences is getting lost because of connection. But as far as I understand your comment or questions about the current situation of e-commerce to make more touchless operation. Rashid, Ammar Bey, your voice is not coming
on
well.
the e-commerce side. I've now
Rashid, you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I need to mute. I need to mute of Ammar because his site is some problems. What do you understand, if I understand correctly, as operation? Very e-commerce is now popular because of these days, but still some suffering points for operation side and also the endpoint, yeah, during to the teslimat time. What do you think about?
Of course, e-commerce is still suffering from different issues. Mainly, it's still suffering from technological barrier, where there are some problems in technology, especially in security. There are a lot of concerns about how we could trust the e-commerce system, how we could trust the e-commerce business. Secondly, the shipping is still an issue. We have seen a lot of problems coming because of shipping. We have seen that the shipping and logistic is a barrier towards the success of e-commerce. Until now, there are a lot of problems that have not been solved in different countries, even where the e-commerce is very popular. At the end of the month of Ramadan, there was a lot of issues about the logistic companies in Saudi Arabia and in other GCC countries as well, in terms of how many products are being delivered every day, and will the products reach to the end clients on time. And that was an issue for several e-commerce websites as well as shipping companies. The third issue that's still considered as a challenge is the payment gateways, and then the payment business in general. There is a huge demand on better laws from the banks to allow businesses to accept e-payments. But on the other hand, there are a lot of challenges toward that, because there's still awareness problems, security problems, money laundering is an issue, and it's also giving a pressure over banks not to accept being flexible with the laws of e-payments for different e-commerce businesses. The fourth challenge, which is still big challenge, is the inventory management and the supply chain management. A lot of e-commerce businesses have moved into providing the service via dropshipping business model, just to forget about the inventory management and the supply chain management, so that they can only focus on their business and to focus on the marketing. And this is the fifth challenge, which is the marketing as well. It's also still a challenging point. The cost of marketing in e-business and in e-commerce is very high. The return on investment is not trustable. There is no trust in the ROI reports, and ROI percentage is still challenging. So if you would like to cover the challenges and the concerns of e-commerce, those are the 5 main concerns actually, which is making the e-commerce business having difficult days and difficult time facing all of those challenges, I guess.
Welcome, Rashid. Thank you. Ammar Bey adding something now. He reconnected again.
Yeah, so just one point. I've been listening here, and some people are saying that they're facing e-commerce, they are facing challenges in their countries. But here in Pakistan, I guess this is the best time for e-commerce because we are reaching all-time high, especially for bigger players like Daraz, which is of Alipay and Food Panda, have even started delivering grocery services through e-commerce. So, and people are scared to go out of the home, so they are like really interested in e-commerce services. Plus, we talked about integrating with PSPs and all. So in Pakistan here, we have now made open APIs. So if any e-commerce player wants to come and use my payment gateway, they can integrate in less than 2 days. And we have now developers which facilitate them as well. So if you want to come use my payment gateway, you just come and you can get yourself integrated in 2 days. Plus, as far as for people to do digital payments, we have a process in which in less than 5 minutes, they can create their own digital account sitting at home from their phone for our Easy Paisa app. So just 3-4 basic details, and you can get a basic account. So through technology and through by the help of our regulator in Pakistan, we have enabled e-commerce to a greater extent, and currently we have like more than 15 million people which are enabled just by the fintechs. Thank you.
Welcome. This is good development. Yeah, I think especially nowadays, the requirement that's very fast, and we should we can pass or bypass this kind of issues easily in practical way. So let's now 1 hour pass, and we are targeting almost 1 hour and a half, but let's continue a little our guests what they think about their area, about their country's e-commerce. Saif, Mr. Saif, you are hearing us? So, by the way, we are now continue as a kind of networking as well. Yani, in e-commerce motion or e-commerce SEO club, we want to make more collaborative people to know each other. Saif Bey, I think you are hearing us and you want to
Yes,
talk.
I do.
What is the Qatar or Jordan? I think you know as e-commerce issues nowadays, fast delivery issues as well for the grocery delivery.
Thank you, Mustafa. Thanks, Mr. Rashid and Mr. Salman for the valuable input they did. In fact, I've been in exposure in e-commerce for multiple different countries. I worked in Saudi Arabia, I worked in Istanbul, I worked in Qatar, I worked in Jordan, and the e-commerce field in general. There is a lot of differences from country to country, so you cannot compare any of the countries I mentioned to Turkey. Turkey had like a big exposure to the e-commerce. They have like huge, let's say, companies like Trendyol, Boyner, Exhibity in food, and so you cannot compare that to them.
By the way, Boyner sold by a Qatar company, and Trendyol also acquired by Alibaba.
Alibaba, yeah, I hear 750 million the last year, I think.
Yes, please continue.
Yeah, so in Qatar in here, I can say I'm here for 6 months now. The before coronavirus and after coronavirus, there is a big difference. Before coronavirus, I can easily say there is no such a thing called e-commerce in Qatar. There is no big companies, there is nobody taking over the market, no customers, nothing at all. So, but after what happened and with the coronavirus thing, a lot of big major companies started to jump in. As Ammar mentioned, grocery stuff. We have Lulu, we have Carrefour. Everyone is jumping to the e-commerce thing. They are delivering. In fact, now, if you go to Carrefour or Lulu hypermarket or wherever online, they cannot even deliver you within a week. It's all booked. So this is one of the things Mr. Rashid also talked about, which is deliveries and fulfillment. We are still struggling with that. In Jordan, I can say that there is no such a thing. It's still based on Facebook pages. I think if any of the people in here familiar with Jordan Market and e-commerce? It's still based on in Facebook pages, Instagram pages, and it's not really familiar like websites. When I mean like a big websites or big majors, and the shopping experience goes mostly to China, which is AliExpress or Alibaba. That's in Jordan.
Okay, thank you, Saif Bey, for
Alright.
this your region. You explain your region. Mukesh Bey, you are hearing us? If you are there, maybe you are not free now. Mukesh from Oman now is Oman off. Let's continue. Fayaz Bey, Mr. Fayaz, what about Tanzania? Can you describe what's Tanzania nowadays and before, and e-commerce and grocery issues as well? Can you describe us if you like?
Yeah, so e-commerce has been in the market for a while. We had Jumia in Tanzania for a few years now. Last year it got shut down, but actually during the Corona situation, there have been plenty of e-commerce sites and apps that have been launched. Some which are also launched by PSP companies, and some by private companies as well. So we have Uber also planning to launch Uber Eats for food. We have grocery, we have a lot, grocery apps and websites. On the side of hardware and physical products, that is where the challenge is, because a lot of people are facing delivery issues and logistics. Payments is not a problem. We have mobile payments infrastructure by all telecoms. We have a government payment gateway as well, which facilitates all billers, meaning electricity, water, and such cases. And we also have MasterCard, which has launched MasterPass. If you want to make payments directly from bank accounts, that is also possible using your mobile wallet. So payments is not a challenge. Our biggest challenge is logistics, delivery, and delivery of huge items. Grocery and all that has been sorted by motorbikes delivery companies. But challenges are still there for companies like furniture industry or boutiques and such, electronics, things like that still haven't. Online stores are there, but people would want to like feel the item and see it before purchasing.
Thank you, Fayaz. It is Africa already is good as far as I know. Payment, mobile payment is very, very common.
Yes, mobile payments is very common, and now it has gone cross-border as well. So, for example, if we want to even purchase items from Kenya, we can use mobile payments and not like we don't need our bank account to make the purchase. Or send money transfers via mobile payments as well is possible.
Yeah, and your condition should be in Saudi Arabia. Yeah, Salman suffering the point there. Yeah.
I was thinking of the same thing.
Good, yes. Thank you for your sharing.
Thank you.
So lastly, Ahmed Al-Balushi Bey, Mr. Ahmed, if you are hearing us, and Mukesh, if you are hearing us, we are ending and concluding shwaya. Before concluding and ending at our normal time for ending, we say it's 4:30, but we know each other a little. And what conditions in your country about e-commerce, delivery, logistics, payments, and then especially nowadays fast logistics, I mean grocery delivery. What is going on nowadays in your country, if you like to explain us?
Yeah, Um, good afternoon, everybody, and it's nice to be here with you guys. Actually, I'm not so sure about if you heard about Bahrain, but we are even before the COVID-19, we were advanced in e-commerce, and specifically in the retail and the wholesale, the digital products, the banking. Most of the banks over here, they are using online banking. We are depending a lot on online shoppings, either inside Bahrain or from outside as well. And after COVID now, almost maybe I can say 99% of the people over here, they are exchanging their day-to-day life with the online transactions. We have companies here in Bahrain as well that they are dealing with e-commerce. They are very strong in e-commerce actually, and they are doing very good in it. But still, there are some what do you call it? They say people we need digital transformation, yeah, which I believe not only in e-commerce and anywhere. Digital is there, automation is there. We need now to convert our mind and start thinking about simplifying the solution rather than digitizing the solutions or the process. So therefore, now in Bahrain, there are some strategies, either from the governmental sector or the private sector, that they want to convert that process, the manual process, into an automatic process by thinking like the customer. And it's everywhere. They are talking about it in webinars and seminars and events. Now in the COVID, they are doing it through Zoom, through live storm. And there are lots of exchange between experts and the entities, like the owners, the company owners, or the government. I believe there is a big chance for the companies, the tech companies, to have business here in Bahrain, and specifically in e-commerce. But you need to know that in Bahrain, they're already in this business. So you need to think in some different way how to market your products. And this is what I'm trying to do. Now I'm trying to inject things like the fourth industrial revolution technologies, such as big data and artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, which will help a lot in e-commerce actually. It will help a lot in connecting things automatically, predicting what the customer wants, as Google and Amazon, Netflix, they are doing. So this will enhance the e-commerce market a lot. This is in my own point of view. I don't know about you guys, but I think that for the e-commerce sector to move forward a positive step, we need to inject the new technologies in it, such as I said, artificial intelligence, big data, Internet of Things, cloud computing, and cybersecurity is the most important thing actually. And that's it. I think this is my point of view. Don't take it that it's in general it has to be like that. E-commerce is going on, but I think that we need to think in a different way. All right. Thank you very much.
Welcome, Ahmed Bey. You are, of course, a kind of global perspective. I mean, general perspective, what's going on in digitalization as digital transformation of a sector that should reach some digital level, but not complicated, as you say, should be some basically, because when sometimes say on board digital transformation, they are afraid of digital transformation of any company, of course, if they are not directly in technology. So as Shwaya, and basically such kind of things, we are putting their operations, I mean enterprise business, and they are converting them to the level of they should be, as you say, sometime cybersecurity, sometime IoT, sometime some another control and automation mechanism they should do as much as possible. So let's continue. Mugesbe, if you hear us from Oman. And then now Abdel Fattah Hassan Bey, welcome. Abdel Fattah, we are now last 15 minutes of our official time of our session. I mean, if you like to share your e-commerce e-commerce opinions about nowadays that e-commerce companies or your e-commerce services, if you like to share us. Abdel Fattah, you are hearing us or Abdel Fattah? If
how are you?
Shukran, Abdel Fattah. Now we are concluding last our dakika minutes. If you express your general opinions about fintech technologies currently using from fintech, I'm sorry, e-commerce companies, what they are expecting from e-commerce companies and what kind of e-commerce technologies should be add on nowadays for especially pandemic days.
First, I would like to thank you for inviting me to the meeting. Let me talk about my experience. We are based in Turkey and Canada. Right now, we are focused on Magento, and we have our own mobile application based on Magento too. And we have a small experience in e-commerce, about 2 years. We have a project in Egypt about the clothes. We have about 22 stores. We are selling in Egypt the stores online. Also, we have an electronic website in Turkey. Its name is Brand Bazaar. And that solution is selling the electronics, and we have integration with the topest marketplace in Turkey, like Trendyol, Neon Beer, Hepsi Burada, Giddi Gidiyor. All of them working together in a centralized integration system. This is briefly what we are doing now. Next, we are focused on the mobile application integrated with the OpenCard and Magento. We have a big experience in Magento right now, alhamdulillah. We launched our first phase of the mobile application 2 days ago. Next week, we will launch the second one, inshallah.
Thank you, Shukran, for your introduction. And now Muges Bey came back, and Muges, we are lastly and maybe last speaker, last 10 dakika as well. Do you like to add Oman market now, how e-commerce business or operation of e-commerce companies as your customer as well, they are doing is in well, or in grocery delivery is in as well in well or not, or also as you are inside of the business of fintech as a bank manager, executive of Bank Umman Bank. What do you think about fintech and e-commerce, how they help each other?
I think, first of all, thank you very much again, Mustafa Bey. I had to, attend to another meeting instantly in between, and then it was a great time. I'm back now.
Welcome.
The question, I had a chance to listen to 3 or 4 of the initial speakers and what they're doing and the importance of e-commerce. I think, of e-commerce, I don't think there was any doubt that there will come a time where e-commerce would being center stage, if not it all. And financial technology is an extension of e-commerce. I don't think any way that both can be separate. As a matter of fact, I'll go to an extent where I'll say that fintech and e-commerce are once to the same coin. Having said, if any fintech initiative is not amalgamated with e-commerce initiative, it will lose its traction. It will not fulfill its potential, and as a matter of fact, it will be on the door. The increase in that will come immediately post COVID-19 only. I say so because Oman is a classic example, being a relatively economy that is in a huge financial crisis scenario, oil price crisis, and now on top of it, the COVID crisis. It's a three-pronged crisis. To open up within this turmoils, and the reliant e-commerce appeared to be the only way out. Not only for Oman, but for countries like Oman and even other countries too. I can tell that, there is now recently, we just got the news that government of Oman to launch these medical bands, medical wristbands, which are e-commerce driven, and they will be able to trace the COVID-19 cases and other symptoms or the locations of COVID-19. This is a government approved medical wristband. This is one where an economy that is still relatively closed, Oman-like economy, is relying on e-commerce because there's no other way out. Number one. Number two, e-commerce in a small economy like this has increased. You see people e-commerce options much more. Their online deliveries have increased. But having said that, this increase is too structurally powerful to allow the government to formally adopt e-commerce as its solution to so many other problems and so many wayabouts. This is why I think Oman as a country has a lot to do right now. Things point towards that, but I think for Oman to really catch up with other countries and make e-commerce as its central focus, there's still at least half a decade, if not more, still to go. I would suggest that, one of the things that, again, in one of our last gathering, I mentioned that with e-commerce and technology, although very fancy, very user-friendly, very innovative, makes things smart, we must not forget that the biggest risk that brings with it is cyber risk, cyber security. And this sort of risk is unforeseen and risk that is big to produce more black events. It has this tendency that is much more bigger to produce events than the scene, which are non-technology oriented risks. So this is my biggest worry, technology, that unless we are able to tame the cyber risks things alongside with it, it's might end up becoming more a bane than a boon. It sounds a huge boon. It's effective, but I'm guessing over relying on it, maybe a bane than a boon. On it and use it in a tamed manner, be it in Oman or in an even more advanced country. This is what my submission is.
Shukran Muges Bey. Thank you to talk about Oman as well. And we are happy that you are joining our fintech board as well. We are now developing fintech and e-commerce ecosystem as far as we can do. And for Ammar Bey has a comment, agreed with Muges. We are facing pretty much same challenges as well from Pakistan. Ammar Bey, shukran for your comment as well. So lastly, our one of new member from Morocco. Yeah, today we made a Middle East, Africa, and Turkey. Almost everyone: Bahrain, Qatar, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Tanzania. Almost many countries here. Now, lastly, Morocco. Mohammed Kader Bey, I think you are coming from Morocco, as far as I remember. You hear us?
Yeah, actually, thank you so much for inviting me to this conference, and thank you a lot, Mustafa, to invite me to this group. I'm so honored to take part of it. And back to your question, yeah, actually, I'm from Morocco, and I'm managing the business for a Chinese company in the payment industry.
Which can we know which company? If not Alibaba, I think, but another.
Yeah, the company is called WellPay, which is a solution provider, payment solution provider, as well terminal payment providers. The last newest generation for terminals based on Android and the MPOS too.
I see. So our last minutes of our meetings for officially released with that endpoint is 4:30. But we want to give you, Mohammed Bey, last 5 dakika to you. If you like, can you explain us what is the Morocco issues nowadays from pandemic as e-commerce opportunities or e-commerce suffering points or grocery services or logistic suffering points? Can you explain, if you like to explain nowadays, especially pandemic, and what do you think about what kind of technologies should e-commerce platforms add as much as possible?
Actually, right now in Morocco is as the same thing. I may say in Tunisia too, because I'm original from Morocco and Tunisia. I have both nationality. I was born here in Morocco, and I have the both mixture culture of the both countries, and I can say that it's pretty the same thing in this period of the pandemic situation. For the e-commerce, about the e-commerce, what I noticed it's quite blooming industry actually. I didn't expect that, but some startups here in Morocco they worked hard during the first phase of the pandemic situation, and they developed many e-commerce and online shopping websites when you can pay online, use your credit card or use a wallet, for example, an e-wallet, for example, or an online money to order and get delivered to your home, to your house. Grocery, medicines, and food actually from the restaurant which they deliver food, like McDonald's, KFCs, and some particular restaurants. So this period, for example, for the last 2 months, I have seen a lot of websites and startup companies which are raising from nowhere and delivering and providing this kind of service. And potentially, I have seen that the people here in Morocco, they are responding and they are using these platforms. And so they like it was like a period, and it was like a point of transition to the cashless. It was like accelerator to the cashless, which is the cash here in Morocco used to be the king, same as Europe, I suppose.
Oh, this countries is very agile as startups as well. Very fastly deliver, submit their products to the market, and market demand is
very high.
It's
very high, and is very high, and it was so responsive. What I have seen, and it wasn't only my observation. Actually, I have a lot of friends from all over the world, and they had the eye on Morocco, actually the Moroccan market, so to promote for their business and do something here in fintech industry and see what are the opportunities. And they were so surprised how this industry was raising and evolutionary growth during this period.
What is the population of Morocco? 10 million?
We are 42 million.
42 million.
Yeah, only Casablanca is 10 million.
Wow. Well, good.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yes.
Yeah, very interesting.
Morocco is very well positioned, as Mediterranean and
the Atlantic,
the corner. Yeah, very nice. So now,
Morocco, according to Google, the word dropshipping is being searched in Morocco with the highest number all over the world. So
Yeah.
people are looking for dropshipping business and e-commerce in Morocco. It's supposed to be the dropshipping business that is being run in Morocco is the highest among the world.
Yeah, definitely. And also, I have a friend of mine, if I can share this experience. He started 5 years ago, just like an FBA or partner seller on Amazon. And now he's from the best sellers on drop shipping all over the world. And now he has his own office in Singapore and doing all the drop shipping business from to all over the world, crossing the globe actually. And he started from trash, from nothing, and he's doing very well actually. And his main products, his main niche is the cosmetic products, and he uses our unique and traditional oil which exists only in Morocco. I don't know if you know it, it's argan oil. And he started with that, and man, it was so good, and he's doing good actually. And he's starting to do some marketing affiliate program and integrating a payment solution with blockchain with some company from Malaysia, and he's expanding his business very well.
He should close one hotel for us. We will provide many technologies for him. Even I will make coding for him, but in near the ocean. I want near the ocean.
Let's do it here from Morocco first. Let's try out here. Why
Yeah,
not?
I mean in Morocco. Yes, I want in Morocco. Yes.
Now, actually, I'm thinking about launching something here in Morocco in fintech, because there is a huge opportunity. I don't know if you had the opportunity to attend, or at least to know a very known exhibition here. It's a yearly event in Marrakesh called APID, and it's about payment and identification. And let's say 60% of interest of that event is about fintechs and payment. And I can tell you,
they will do in virtually, or they will postpone this year, or
no, they postponed actually. They didn't want to switch to online event. It's gonna be like the next December maybe. I'm not sure about the date, but it's a huge event, and it's very interesting. So if you had the opportunity to see it, or maybe the next time, you're gonna notice that a lot of foreign investors are coming here to Morocco first for the strategic position geographically. It's a hub for Africa and the growth of the technology here, and the government is very open to help any.
Mohammed, your last 10 seconds is lost. I think we have some problems now in Mohammed connection. I think Mohammed hear us maybe somehow. So let's, if there is a last question, we are closing. And thank you to Rashid Bey and
thank you so much.
Salman Bey to express their detailed experience and Salladat essay, to hear from Salman and Rashid Bey from. Shukran to all you.
Thank you very much for hosting us. And I do have one small request actually. There are concerns, 5 concerns Rashid Bey said about e-commerce, and there is an event Brother Mohammed Khadir have mentioned in Morocco, and there are other points like the website that the brother Ammar said about in Pakistan. So we would like to have like a small summary of this gathering that will be sent to all of us to know, and actually citing more the networking happens between the people who attended this event. Just small request. Thank you very much, everybody.
Sorry, I don't know who was talking, but I didn't hear. I was disconnected for few seconds. I didn't hear the whole request.
Salman Bey from Saudi Arabia, founder of Salladat.sa.
All right.
Yes, his request was to summarize the points that have been mentioned today, and send it as a summary to all of the attendees.
Yeah, with pleasure. Why not? I will share with you documents. Maybe I will consolidate on WhatsApp group, or yeah, with pleasure. No problem.
Yeah, we are mostly in same groups as e-commerce WhatsApp group as well. We can especially use e-commerce WhatsApp group, e-commerce CEO Club WhatsApp group. Then we can continue as well there. That because we are caring not only speaking or analyzing, we are caring each other what we can help each other about our business and our help each other as region based to extend our issues together somehow. So thank you for this session to all your attendees and sharings and comments. And really it was grateful to from Istanbul, many salam from Istanbul to you, and to feel Oman and to feel Pakistan and Bahrain, Saudi Arabia and Tanzania, even Morocco, and it was great for me. And now, with your acceptance, let's now cut and stop and conclude this session, and see you next again, I hope.
Yeah, see you soon.
Inshallah.
Thank you. Thank you. Inshallah.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you, everyone.
Nice to
Everyone
meet
stay
you.
safe. Allah Hafiz.
Thank you very much.
Assalamu.